I think we need to start thinking about like what I can do for this team to help. Not what can team do to help me. I call it point this way, not this way, right?
All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you all are having a good day so far. Had a request here to check out this Scap Attack video. It's titled Nikola Jokic, the hero the NBA needs but doesn't deserve. I like it. Nice title. Yeah, as we all know, Jokic has been tearing it up. Honestly, Westbrook it seems like he might have really found a home again finally, because he's fitting in really well with Denver, and the two-man game he's got with Jokic is actually pretty phenomenal to watch, and I'm really happy for Russ. Like I've said multiple times, I'm not watching a lot of modern games, but I am catching some Denver games, some Suns games, and some Mavs games, and also some San Antonio games. It's really, my viewership is just kind of based off of the teams and the individuals that I enjoy. But there's a lot of teams that just bore me to hell. But these couple of teams seem to have something a little unique about them, at least, so it's something fun to watch, like Wemby out there in San Antonio. It's cool to watch. Denver is a very unique team, and the dynamic that's going on in Dallas is pretty cool. Phoenix I just watch because it's my home team, but I'm not a big fan of the type of basketball I'm seeing here, but that's for a whole different video. As I always do, I'm going to link the original Scap Attack video down below in the description. Scap, if you see this, what's up, man? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, everybody, please leave this video a like. I appreciate y'all. That was a way too long of an intro. I apologize. Let's get into it.
Well, Nikola Jokic can do more than he is already doing this season. That is, of course, according to him. After recording his NBA league-leading 12th triple-double of the season, which has come in just 27 games played for him on the season, in a 149-135 beating at the hands of...
12 triple-doubles in 27 games? Did I hear that right?
Triple-double of this. After recording his NBA league-leading 12th triple-double of the season, which has come in just 27 games played for him on the season, in a 149-135 beating at the hands of the league-best Cleveland Cavaliers. After that game, Nikola Jokic stepped to the podium of his post-game presser and talked about how much his team sucks right now.
What do? I show up to work, punch my clock every day, stay positive, and go out and try to lead out on the floor, inspire on the floor. I mean, we just suck right now.
About how they just can't compete.
Which is not good.
I also recall it was in an NBA Finals. I can't remember what year it was, but they lost a game, and LeBron's response was like, "I'm averaging a triple-double right now, so I'm doing my job." It's like, holy shit, dude. That is not how you lead, bro.
Good enough. We don't obviously chemistry, talent wise, just everything. And it was clear, like I said, these last few games.
Well, no, he didn't do any of that. I mean, he stepped to the podium and demanded a trade.
Yeah.
Wait, no, he didn't do that either. Well, he has already started colluding behind his franchise's back to take his talents to Luka Doncic's city. No? Okay, though. Did he charter a private jet to fly to Milwaukee and beg Giannis to come to town? And
I know where he's heading, and I haven't seen this, but I think I know where he's heading. Jokic is going to do the old school thing, which is take accountability. Let's watch.
With him. No, he didn't do any of that either. After his 27-point, 14 rebounds, and 13 assist game against the Cavs, which also included 3 steals and only 1 turnover on 12 of 19 shooting from the field, Jokic wasn't pointing any fingers at anyone but himself.
I think we need to start thinking about like what I can do for this team to help. Not what can team do to help me. I call it point this way, not this way, right?
This guy is...
I like that, by the way. Let's talk more about what I can do to help the team instead of wow, he's really doing the opposite of LeBron. Instead of focusing on what the team can do for me, how can you instead of how I need more help, it's no, the team needs more help. What can I do to chip in? I love that. I love that mentality.
Averaging 31 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 9.5 assists for the season on 66% true shooting percentage. He is third league-wide in scoring, rebounds, and assists currently. He is 13th league-wide in steals at the moment, and he is the NBA's top three-point shooter, sitting at number 1 in three-point percentage, which is 50% for the year behind the arc, and that is while he is shooting 4.5 of them per game. But yes, Nikola Jokic himself thinks that he can do more. He isn't crowning himself, calling himself the GOAT, while simultaneously trashing his organization for what they can be doing for him, throwing his teammates under the bus, begging for more help, or crawling out of town.
100%.
Nikola Jokic is the hero the NBA needs, but certainly doesn't deserve. Now, the Nuggets would bounce back and get a win the very next night after that Cavs loss, beating the hapless Detroit Pistons 134-121, behind just another average stat line for Jokic of 37 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists on 11 of 17 from the field and 4 of 5 from the three-point line. The win moves the Nuggets up to 17-13 on the season. They are effectively just 3 games in the loss column behind the 2 seed in the bunched up Western Conference, but conversely sit on tenuous footing, just 3 games in the loss column from falling out of the play-in range altogether.
Okay, all right. Before we get into more stats, the psychology of it is what I love about what Jokic is doing here. And I think we're already seeing that turnaround. So if Jokic is clearly going above and beyond for his team. He's clearly the best player, and he's not holding back. He's balling out. He's giving them everything he's got. Now, when that guy comes up onto a podium and says, "What can I do? I need to do more. I need to do more to help the team." Any decent man on his squad is going to look in the mirror and go, "Holy shit, look at this guy." He's still willing to do more, even though he's doing all this already for us. And they're going to look at themselves in the mirror, and the natural response is, screw that. I got to help him. I got to help the team. And if they all rally behind that mentality, like we're kind of seeing right now, that's a very contagious thing. So nice spark that Jokic lit right there. And in his, like, the truth of truths might be he's thinking that the team needs to chip in more because he's doing the best he can. But I think he's smart enough to know this will get the reaction I need out of my guys, and we can get back to team success again.
Conference is extremely deep and competitive right now, with Phoenix and Sacramento currently on the outside looking in of the play-in range.
Yeah, I know.
Both in the 11 and 12 spots at the moment.
Sucks.
While
we got 3 max stars and we can't even make the playoffs so far. I hope it changes.
Teams Memphis and Houston are in the 2 and 3 seeds. The Nuggets sit currently at plus 2.7 net differential, and that really does tell the whole story, as differential typically does. The 4 best teams at the time of writing this piece by that metric league-wide in order are Oklahoma City at plus 11.7, Cleveland at plus 11.6, Memphis at plus 10.3, and Boston at plus 10 even. Again,
it's funny to see because it's right there, the top 2. KD, you might, you could have just stayed there all along, LeBron, man, you could have just stuck it out all along in Cleveland, But so it's funny to see that these 2 teams are now, OKC is more successful than Phoenix, where KD's at, and Cleveland is more successful than LeBron, where Cleveland is more successful than the Lakers, where LeBron is at. This stuff just humors me.
At plus 10.3 and Boston at plus 10 even. Again, Denver is just plus 2.7. But taking a closer look at those top 4 teams and the presumptive leaders for each of them and comparing them to Nikola Jokic in terms of total net on-off, we can see a different picture being painted.
Yeah.
As on-off compares the total number of points a team scores on offense and gives up on defense per 100 possessions when a player is on and off the floor. Jason Tatum adds a total of 8.1 points. Donovan Mitchell adds 2.1. Ja Morant for the Memphis Grizzlies is at plus 2.7, while teammate Jaren Jackson Jr. is adding 7.3, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is contributing a whopping 15 points per 100 possessions.
SGA.
All of this, though, as Nikola Jokic is currently sitting at plus 23. He is already doing more than anyone else, while averaging a damn near 30-point triple-double on 60% true shooting from the field. But yes, sure, apparently, according to many out there, he simply isn't doing enough. And Jokic agrees.
I think we need to start thinking about like what I can do for this team to help, not what can team do to help me.
This is despite the fact he simply does not have the teammates to compete.
Let's cut through the bullshit. It's straight up that. He's clearly doing more than anybody in the league on an individual level. Now it's up to everybody else on that team to figure out a way to help, to help the team get over the hump and be a contender again. It's not on Jokic, I'll tell you that, but it is on him on a leadership level, and I like what he's saying here because it is up to him to rally the troops. So, and I agree with this approach of rallying the troops, which is putting yourself in the fire, and, that'll trigger everybody else to hop in with you, It's like Michael Jordan says, I would never ask them to do anything I'm not willing to do myself. You got to go first. If you're a real leader, you got to jump into fire first. Show, lead by example. And that's why I'm a huge Jokic fan. He's the guy shocks me, honestly.
Excellent.
Like he works so freaking hard on a daily basis, and I respect the hell out of him. And he's always got a good attitude about it.
On teams. Perhaps no advanced category is more utilized in evaluating players than box plus minus. And look no further than the top 3 in BPM this season in order: Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Those are the top 3 players in that same order for odds-on favorite to win the league MVP currently. But let's check out their teammates. The Thunder also have Jalen Williams, sitting at 18th in the NBA currently in BPM, and 5 total players overall in the top 107 league-wide. While the Cavaliers have a staggering 5 players in the top 37 best in the NBA right now in BPM. Boston, meanwhile, has 6 players rated in the top 92. The Denver Nuggets currently have only 2 players in the top 115 league-wide. That would be Jokic at number 1, and then Michael Porter Jr. all the way down at 87th. Meanwhile,
I like that kid, by the way, Michael Porter Jr.
$50 million per year man Jamal Murray checks in at 122 league-wide. And yet, you have never heard this guy complaining and dogging teammates. This despite all of the high-level alleged all-time greats since around the year 2010 doing the exact opposite of what Jokic is doing right now. Taking responsibility, even though he is already the best, already outperforming everyone else, and actually does not have enough help. Jokic will be another NBA year older, sitting in his 10th league year, with yet another year passing with not a single All-Star, a single All-NBA team player, or All-NBA defensive player on any of his rosters. 10 years in, LeBron had played with multiple All-Stars by the end of his 7th season in Cleveland in a much weaker conference by the time he took his talents to South Beach. He then played with 2 perennial All-Stars in Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh into his 8th, 9th, and 10th league year, while Kevin Durant was playing with a perennial All-Star, future league MVP, and surefire Hall of Famer in Russell Westbrook up to his 8th NBA year, before he defected to play with Steph Curry and win his only 2 titles in his 9th and 10th seasons. And oh yeah, then there is Steph Curry, who recruited Durant. And that was after he had just won 73 games with 2 perennial All-Stars of his own in his 7th league year, before charting the team's private jet and flying to the Hamptons to beg KD to team up and strap on those 2 fraudulent titles in Curry's 8th and 9th seasons. Nikola Jokic is now in his 10th.
I mean, Scap, it was a response, though, to what LeBron had already done. You know, LeBron already built a big 3 in Miami, and then was, you know, built another big 3 in Cleveland. So at this point, you know, it's kind of like who started the fire is the guilty party in my mind. So what was going on in Golden State, I always feel a little different about it, because that was in response to combat the LeBron super team. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, you stack the deck, okay, fine, I'll stack the deck over here too. So I always look at who started the fire, and for me that was 2010, the decision, Miami Big 3. That's when it became okay to stack the deck. Not that I agree with it, because I disagree. I hate it, honestly. I despise it a ton. But at the same time, do I give, you know, those 2 championships out there? I don't necessarily give KD like the biggest props, because those are the only 2 he won, and it was in that kind of a situation. I'd give him a lot more props if he can figure out a way to get Phoenix, or if it was Brooklyn or another team, a championship. But yeah, jumping on that Golden State bandwagon was not nearly as on an individual level, you know, wasn't that cool. You know, but yeah, the point is, I don't criticize the Golden State Warriors nearly as much as I do the Miami situation, because if Miami never happened, then other super teams would never have to be built. And unfortunately, when you want to compete against a super team, unless you're the Dallas Mavericks in 2011, you need a super team to combat it.
NBA season, heading in the direction of his 4th league MVP, and the best trio this guy has ever played with is Jamal Murray, whenever he can even be bothered to get on the court, missing around 40% of his career games that he is eligible for to this point, and Michael Porter Jr. Yes, Jokic is better than any of these other stars we have seen since the Kobe Bryant era concluded.
Agreed.
And yes, he isn't going to win as many titles as any of them, because he isn't an insufferable baby begging for trades or hopping to other players' teams to ring chase. If he deployed the cowardly tactics the other greats of this era have all utilized, he would win at the very least as many as these others.
Absolutely.
And how do we decisively know that? Because he, unlike any of them, won a title without doing all of those things, which is more than any other peer of his in this era can say outside of the great Giannis Antetokounmpo. So perhaps we can just stop criticizing Jokic and start actually appreciating him.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm never criticizing Jokic. Like, I don't really have anything negative to say. He goes out there and does his job. He's getting all these MVPs. He won a championship the hard way. Like, that Denver championship is incredibly impressive to me, because they have literally 1 star. They did it like the 80s way, which is shocking. You know, same with Giannis. I got to give Giannis his credit where credit's due for destroying my Phoenix Suns, who, if you want to talk about like distributed talent on paper, we had way more talent over here. But guess what? One hungry monster, not willing to lose, was enough to do it. That's the old-fashioned way. And Jokic did the exact same thing. His championship impresses the hell out of me, in a very similar way to how Dirk Nowitzki's championship impresses the hell out of me. You know, I don't really count that as one. If we're talking about like versus somebody who stacks the deck, like okay, so let's talk about KD's two. I'd rather have Jokic's one or Dirk's one any day of the week over what KD pulled off out there, because they did it the easy way. I respect the hard grind to get to the championship, not just I show up and we win. You know what I mean? Year one, we win. You know, because the deck is that stacked. But yeah, those are my thoughts about it. I don't understand. There seems to be some subset of Jokic haters, and I don't really understand it unless like there's some racial thing going on, or if it's just like a hatred for Europeans, or I don't understand what it is, because in a basketball sense, Jokic is one of the only dudes out there that's actually like doing it the right way, and he's doing it with the right attitude. So, or maybe this is a generational thing, like because he doesn't stir up a lot of drama, like the kids don't have like crazy things to watch on TikTok about Jokic, because he's not being dramatic and chaotic, and he's actually like being a solid man out there, you know, a solid athlete. Maybe that's the disconnect. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below, because honestly, like whenever I hear someone hating on Jokic, I'm just like, all right, you probably don't know basketball, so I don't really pay attention much further. But maybe you guys have a little more insight on what it is that's causing this subset of people to constantly bash on Jokic. I saw it on like mainstream media, and I never quite got it, you know. But anyways, let me know what you think. The channel was Scap Attack there. If you guys want to check out the channel, once again, it's in the description box down below, the link to this video, which will take you to Scap's channel. Scap does phenomenal work, if you haven't noticed yet. And everybody, please leave this video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And I'll see you later for the next one. See you in the comments. Until then, peace out, everybody.